On a group trip to Poland with Bishop Janta in 1996, Janet Dawson-Ebram had a conversation with the bishop.
I was telling Bishop Janta, we were sitting in the tour bus one day in a village, and I said, you know, Bishop Janta, these people are just amazing. They're so warm, and this place is so beautiful. I can't imagine why our ancestors left here. Wouldn't it be great if somebody would tell the story, not of the wave of immigration in the 1850s, but the personal stories of each couple? And without missing a beat, Bishop Janta said, well, why don't you do it, Janet?
And so the Silesian Profiles Committee was formed. Intensive research was conducted, and the first book was published in 1999, Silesian Profiles, Polish Immigration to Texas in the 1850s. Authored by Janet Dawson-Ebram, Catherine Corris Beard, John Warren Beard, Cheryl Lynn Hiley, and Marianne Machagemba Watson. The book was translated into Polish and presented to Pope John Paul II by Bishop Janta.
Bishop Janta took that translated volume, it was the only one that had been translated so far, and handed it to Pope John Paul II. It was such an honor for our committee to know that our work had been passed into the hands of the Polish pontiff.
In 1973, Father John Janta organized the first pilgrimage to Poland and the region of Upper Silesia for a group of 54 Texans. Years later, on another trip with Bishop Janta, Janet and her husband found a special family connection.
My husband and I had planned to visit his ancestral home village, the Ebram home village of Kielce. And we noticed then the sign on the house was Ebram. 3 generations of Ebrams lived in that house, a generation on each floor of the 3-story house.
And now we are coming to a particular village, sometimes to a particular home, where the people are meeting the distant relatives, and they look at each other and they cry.
The moment that stands out the most is walking into the church in Plzenica, because that is where my great-great-grandfather was baptized. The ancestors prior to him were baptized and married there as well. And it was an awesome experience to walk into that small, simple church in the farming community of Plzenica.
Over the years, groups of descendants continue to make the journey to Poland to reconnect with their heritage.
I met members of families from both sides of my grandparents, and it was just so exciting, and especially to meet some relatives from my grandmother's side that didn't think we would ever meet. It was a total surprise there, and I'm already on Facebook with her.
When we were in the little wooden church, and all the Polish people were singing the rosary, and the bells were ringing, and it was so touching. I had tears in my eyes.
Most memorable moment for me was being around the children of Poland, them speaking in Polish and listening to them laugh and speak the language that I grew up with. It was just a touching moment for me.
I'm a 5th-generation American of Polish descent. Probably the most memorable event was the opportunity to meet some of my family members. It was quite an experience. I spoke English and they spoke Polish, and we had a great conversation going in a few minutes.
This trip was really a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. My parents made this same trip several years ago, twice. My most memorable experience on this trip was actually getting to go to the village where my ancestors came from and meeting 2 Kossubs there in person. That was just fantastic.
Upon their return, descendants often view their surroundings with a deeper clarity.
I see Panna Maria as a gathering place for families. It has been that way for over 150 years. When we drive in to Panna Maria, I love seeing the steeple of the church, because to me, the church symbolizes the center of this community, and the church reflects our faith and our family.
I always sense here in this beautiful church that not only the presence of God, but also all the prayers of our ancestors who came here before us I always sense those prayers offered for many decades here before us. So we feel that connection with them is a special place here in this church.